that stuff's handled by agents now. So what actually do we work on? These systems are incredibly powerful. It got so bad that we couldn't merge anything, actually. Well, I work with a lot of engineering leaders who are struggling with this problem right now. I think the most important thing is that this is a very human shift that's happening right now, and to account for that. Caring for teams, caring for individuals, understanding that we need to move people around and change what they do and change their job description is a delicate process. I think that's what leaders need to appreciate. And at the same time, these systems are incredibly powerful and they need to be very aggressive in pursuing their benefits. It got so bad that we couldn't merge anything, actually. But since then, we've taken a number of steps, including automated reviews, auto merges, and so we're out of that review bottleneck. But the judgment is still there for some of the reviews, and so the humans play a part still. The highest leverage knowledge that an engineer can have right now is about control theory and system dynamics. If you study those two academic areas, the core underlying technologies that we're doing right now in harness engineering, you will be an expert. Right, yeah, so often overlooked, that everyone's different. And it doesn't, if you're slow to pick something up, it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you or anything like that. Some people just take more time and more convincing. Quite honestly, the more senior you are, the more convincing you need, so it will take you longer. The future of Agile is in question, put it that way. I think that that type of working model doesn't make sense anymore. I do think that certain meetings do make sense. The way I put it to my team was like, what do we triage now? We used to triage backlogs and bugs and features, but that stuff's handled by agents now. So what actually do we work on? There's a number of things inside harness engineering that we do work on now, and they're all about correcting feedback loops and building organizational memory that can then be a force multiplier for the rest of the org. So that meeting, that operations meeting, is not necessarily looking at SLOs of uptime or whatever at this point, but it's looking for how are our agentic learning loops functioning. That this is a team sport. Just like software engineering in general, we're better in numbers, and we're all learning together at this point. So I think people need a little bit of humility. And including myself, there's so much more to learn and things are changing so often. So I think humility might be the main takeaway.